Procrastination is not laziness. And if you only hear one thing today, let it be this. Lazy people don't suffer. People who procrastinate do. If you were truly lazy, you wouldn't feel that pressure in your chest every time you avoid a task that matters. You wouldn't replay it in your head while showering. You wouldn't feel guilty while trying to relax. You wouldn't promise yourself over and over again that tomorrow will be different. Procrastination is not indifference. It's internal conflict. It's caring deeply while feeling completely stuck. And the faster you stop treating procrastination like a character flaw, the faster you stop fighting the wrong enemy. Because procrastination is not a lack of discipline. It's not a lack of motivation. And it's definitely not a lack of intelligence. Procrastination is a nervous system response, and until you understand that, nothing you try will work long-term. People who procrastinate usually care more than average. They think more than average. They analyze more than average. They hold themselves to higher standards than average. And that's exactly why they freeze. A lazy person doesn't overthink. They don't imagine worst-case scenarios. They don't feel emotionally exposed by unfinished work. They simply don't do it and move on. The procrastinator doesn't move on. They know exactly what needs to be done. They feel it hovering over them all day. They carry it in the back of their mind like an unpaid debt. They think about it in the shower, in the car, right before falling asleep. They plan, they organize, they set reminders, they make promises to themselves. And when they don't follow through, they don't say, "This task is overwhelming." They say, "There's something wrong with me." And over time, that belief becomes heavier than the task itself. So let's be clear from the beginning. Procrastination is not a character flaw. It is not a moral failure. It is proof that you're weak. Procrastination is your nervous system trying to protect you from failure, from judgment, from rejection, from disappointment, from feeling exposed, from feeling not good enough. When a task activates these emotions, your brain doesn't register it as work, it registers it as threat. And when the brain senses threat, it doesn't optimize for productivity, it optimizes for survival. That's why procrastination feels automatic. You don't decide to procrastinate, you default to it. It's not a conscious choice, it's avoidance of emotional pain. The brain would rather delay discomfort now, even if it creates more pain later. Future pain feels distant and abstract. Immediate emotional discomfort feels real and dangerous, so the brain chooses delay. This is also why procrastination often hits hardest with the things that matter most. Highly intelligent, creative, and self-aware people tend to procrastinate more, not less, because they see more. They see what could go wrong. They see how something could be criticized. They see how it might not live up to expectations. They see the consequences of failure before they even begin. They don't just see the task, they see the meaning attached to the task, and meaning creates pressure. Pressure creates fear. Fear creates paralysis. So they wait, not because they don't care, but because they care too much. This is why procrastination is not a time problem, it's a pressure problem. Notice this, you don't procrastinate everything. You procrastinate specific things, usually the things that matter the most, the things tied to your identity, the things that could change your life, the things where failure feels personal. You don't procrastinate brushing your teeth. You don't procrastinate scrolling your phone. You don't procrastinate things with no emotional cost. You procrastinate what carries emotional weight. The more meaning a task has, the more pressure it carries. And when pressure exceeds emotional capacity, the nervous system shuts down. Here's the cycle most people never see. You set an important goal. Expectations rise. Fear of failure appears. You delay starting. Guilt builds. You promise to start tomorrow, and the cycle repeats. This cycle has nothing to do with laziness. It's emotional overload. And the more you attack yourself for it, the worse it gets. Because every time you call yourself lazy, your brain learns one thing: action equals pain. So next time, it avoids action even faster. This is why motivation rarely fixes procrastination. Motivation is unstable. It depends on mood, energy levels, sleep, dopamine, environment. Waiting to feel motivated is how people stay stuck for years. Because motivation doesn't create action. Action creates motivation. But here's the problem. Big action feels threatening. So the brain says, let's wait until we feel ready. And ready never comes. The real antidote to procrastination is not willpower. It's not forcing yourself. It's not harsh discipline. It's internal safety. Your nervous system needs to learn that acting is safe. Safe to try, safe to be imperfect, safe to start small, safe to make mistakes. That happens when the task stops being overwhelming, when mistakes stop feeling like identity threats, when your self-worth is no longer on trial every time you begin. As long as every task feels like a judgment of who you are, your brain will resist. And this is where most people get confused. Procrastination is freezing, not resting. Rest restores energy. Procrastination drains it. When you procrastinate, the task never leaves your mind. It runs in the background. It consumes mental bandwidth. It steals attention even while you're distracted. Scrolling doesn't relax you, it numbs you. And when the numbness fades, the guilt is still there. That's why procrastination is exhausting. So instead of asking, why am I like this? Ask a better question. What exactly am I afraid of here? Fear of failing? Fear of being judged? Fear of being seen? Fear of not sustaining success? Fear of disappointing others? Specific fears lose power. Vague fear controls you. Once you name the fear, you reduce its grip. This is why micro-action beats willpower every time. Procrastinators aim too big. Big plans trigger fear. The brain doesn't need promises, it needs proof. Not I'll write the project, but I'll open the document. Not I'll work out for an hour, but I'll put my shoes on. When the action is small enough, the alarm system stays quiet. And once movement starts, clarity follows. Momentum doesn't come from motivation, it comes from motion. At the deepest level, procrastination is about identity. If you see yourself as someone who never finishes, someone inconsistent, someone who always falls back, your brain will act to preserve that identity. Not out of self-sabotage, out of coherence. The brain wants your behavior to match who you believe you are. Change requires evidence, and evidence comes from small wins. Never wait for confidence. Confidence comes after action. First comes a small step, then proof, then trust. Waiting to feel ready is how people stay stuck forever. So remember this, procrastination is not laziness. It is emotional protection. It is pressure overload. It is fear in disguise. It is identity conflict. The solution is not self-attack. It's emotional organization. It's learning how to work with your nervous system, not against it. If this message resonated with you, stop calling yourself lazy. You are not broken. You are overloaded. Start small. Protect your mind. Build evidence. Action doesn't require courage. It requires safety. And if this video helped you see yourself more clearly, take a second to support the channel. Like this video, subscribe for more content on mindset, discipline, and inner strength. Because understanding yourself is the real first step towards changing your life.